Hi there, Gon here. Quick question. What console do you play on? PS5? Xbox 360? Nintendo Wii? Sega Genesis? Atari Jaguar? Those things are just toys. The 3DO is the gaming system. This thing is a beast of a console with the best games. Do you remember the 3DO? The pinnacle of consoles, the success creation of the 3DO company? The console that is self-proclaimed the best console ever? The console that lasted 3 years? The 3DO wasn't really a success, but it gave us such classics as Lemmings, Gex, Plumbers Don't Wear Ties, but it performed badly nonetheless. But why was that? Why was the 3DO so bad and terrible compared to its competitors? Well, let's find out today. Let's start with the 3DO company. The 3DO company is a fusion of 7 different companies: LG, Matsushita, AT&T, MCA, Time Warner, and Electronic Arts. And this company only existed just to make the 3DO console and other crappy games, because you don't hear that name nowadays making games or something. The 3DO Interactive multiplayer launched 4th of October in 1993 in North America, 20th March 1994 in Japan, and Europe got it 11th June 1994. The 3DO's launch was a very rough one, because of, oh my god, $700. Just for you to see, it's $1,304 today. That's overpriced. With that money you can buy other stuff instead of the crap that was a 3DO. But don't worry, because when it came to the market, many shops didn't accept that price, so they made it cheaper. So the 3DO was getting robbed in some way. But when the PlayStation and the Saturn came, it fell from 700 to 499 and then to 299. 3DO came to market with a ton of launch titles such as Crash and Burn, and that's it. Just a racing game? Really? Come on, 3DO company, you're better than this. I know you're better than this. The 3DO was so savage that day that they had the audacity to call the SNES and the Sega Genesis toys. Yeah, that's right guys. If you play the SNES and the Genesis, you're playing with toys. Go buy a 3DO for But the 3DO actually achieved something. It was the first 32-bit console. It launched before the PlayStation and the Virtual Boy, so that checks out. It also was one of the first consoles to use CDs and very large boxes. The 3DO had to do it. Really, had to do that game cases like these. They later replaced with one smaller like the PS1, but these were short-lived because the 3DO died later in 1996. I've never seen a 3DO in my life. Well, what did you expect? It sold 2 million copies and Europe didn't give a fuck about it. Also, the 3DO had different designs throughout its life. And it had many, I'm not kidding. Here's all the designs that the 3DO had. Actually, the AT-AT design was cancelled and the Robo ones and the Blaster are very rare. Look at this one, it looks like a PlayStation. But the most popular ones are the FZ1 and the FC10, made both by Panasonic. Now let's talk about the heart and blood of a console, the games. Oh, the 3DO games were so weird. What a weird selection this console had. Dragon's Lair, Need for Speed, yes, the racing game started on the 3DO in 1994. It was alright. One of the best on the 3DO were Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter 2, because after Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo comes just Street Fighter 2, and then Super Street Fighter. Doom had a terrible port on the 3DO. It's a 32-bit system that compares to the 32X port. With that, it's worth buying the SNES version because you don't need to sell your kidneys or buying an add-on. The classic Plumbers Don't Wear Ties. That is just a slideshow for horny people. But do you know a good game for horny people? Sex. I mean Gex. Sex is also a game for the 3DO that launched in 1995, but I meant Gex. But really, the 3DO had more porn games than more copies of the PS5. There's probably a garbage dump in the Arctic that has multiple copies of Plumbers Don't Wear Ties in there. Oh yeah, Gex. Gex, the unofficial 3DO mascot. Now it's a cult classic, but in the early 90s was just another annoying mascot. It has 3 installments, 2 in the PS1 and just the first one in the 3DO. It's a good trilogy and a must-have for any 3DO collector. If you have the 3DO, you probably have Gex. It sold half the sales of the 3DO. Well, I've already said that earlier, but it happened. This radio was discontinued in late 1996 and this radio company closed in 2003. And it was for the best. This radio was very unsuccessful, but what I have to say, it was overpriced, it had a full long ass name and was in the background. You had PlayStation 1, Sega Saturn, Nintendo 64, Atari Jaguar, 3DO. You understand? What's the reason to buy a 3DO? What games make the 3DO worth it? Gex, okay, sure, but that's on the PlayStation. Street Fighter 2, that's in every platform. Plumbers don't wear ties. The 3DO was really a mess. Everything about this console doesn't look planned, it looked very rushed. 3DO was so bad and rushed that you can only plug one controller to the console, and then if you want to plug a second controller, you need to plug it into the first controller. It is so bad. Oh, I didn't talk about the controller. It has D-pad, okay, shoulder pads, okay, that's cool, and only 3 buttons. And they call the SNES a toy? The SNES controller looks far superior than the 3DO one. Even the Genesis controller looks better, and it has no shoulder pads. But I don't really dislike the 3DO. I like its design and that's it. But I can't fix it. Can I fix the 3DO? I'm going to try to fix the 3DO. First, let's give this controller some joysticks. Yeah. Now let's make this logo make sense. So make it all flat. The place to place the disc, let's put it right there. And yeah. And oh, great, I just made it worse. Well, at least it's better than this. Like, what is this supposed to be? The 3DO was really the start of the downfall that didn't last very long. The Dark Age lasted only 3 years from 1993 to 1996. Glad 1996 exists. No!